Welcome back to Nomadically Bree, and welcome to the highly requested, long-awaited Bali Villa Tour. Yes, I'm finally going to take you inside of my villa so you can see how I'm living, as well as explain the journey leading up to me moving to Denpasar. So you'll see the two villas that I previously had in Canggu and Ubud, and then we're going to talk about what services are included and everything in between. This is my version of MTV Crib slash HGTV, so as you already know, stick around. This is going to be good. All right, family. So we are going to jump right in. Now, if you've been following my journey from the beginning, you know when I first laid feet on Bali soil, I started in Canggu. This is an area called Pererenan, and let me tell you, I have worked really hard to learn how to pronounce that. So kudos to me. So, quick backstory. I was in this villa for about 3 weeks simply because of how busy the area was that I didn't know until I got here. Because, of course, in my first video, I revealed that I did not visit Bali before I moved here. This was all a faith journey for me. So I didn't realize how busy the area was and the pricing. Now, you may say, well, what about the pricing? Didn't you know the price before you got there? The answer is yes. My goal was to sell my home in America and use the proceeds to pay for the rent for the entire year. However, fortunately for me, I do mean fortunately, the sale of the home fell through. And so I was unable to pay for the entire year, but the owners were very accommodating to allow me to pay monthly. Now, with that said, the monthly price is much more than what it would equate to be monthly if you pay for it upfront for the year. So having found out that this was an area I wasn't too fond of, I'm glad that I didn't pay for the whole year because I wouldn't have got my money back. Now, let's talk about the actual villa. Yes, your eyes did see correctly. The bathroom is open to the outside. That's very common in Bali, okay? So it is a such thing as open living and closed living. We'll talk about that shortly. So this here is a hot water tank, which is different, but it is what it is. I did like the fact that it was very bright and open and airy in the bathroom. That made for just a really nice ambiance when using the bathroom or for showers, whatever. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the fact that the only bathroom was accessible through the primary bedroom. I don't want people necessarily walking through my intimate space if I were to have guests to get to the bathroom. And something else that was different about the layout was you had to go outside in order to get to the kitchen area from the bedroom. To speaking of which, it was very limited counter space. And then I think overall, with just the way that it was laid out, because it was a smaller villa, it could have been put together just a little bit differently. I would have done maybe a different couch and then added maybe a workstation. But I was very pleased with what I had, as well as all this natural light and the fact that you can open these doors to get some good flowing air through your living space. Now, if you really wanted to get things cooking, you can go up to the rooftop, to which I did a few times to just enjoy that natural fresh air. And there's a field there, but it was also getting built on. So there's a whole lot of controversy around all the land being built on out here in Bali. But in any event, the rooftop did also overlook the pool. But I mean, how many times are you going to just be hanging over the edge to see that view? Now, let's talk about the most important thing, and that's pricing. So, my monthly rent was inclusive of weekly cleaning service, weekly garden maintenance, as well as pool maintenance, Wi Fi, and water for 27 million IDR, or a whopping 1,700 US dollars. Now, if I would have sold my home and paid for the rent up front for the year, it would have equaled out to about $1,500 a month. So, with everything you see as is, tell me if you think that's way too much or that's right in line for all that you see here and what you get in Canggu. I obviously thought it was OD, so I made my way on out to Ubud. Now, first things first, I'm so sad I don't have much content of my Ubud villa. I only have a small clip that the owner sent me the day before I moved in to show me that it was cleaned and ready for me. So I'm fortunate for that. And I also have a short clip that I took when they were installing the AC after I got the place put together. But I don't have anything else, so I'm giving you all that I could find in my archives, to which I'm showing you this long 200-meter pathway that led to the villa. Now, when I say I lived in the middle of a rice field, I literally mean, in the middle. So I ended up staying here for about a month, and my primary reason for leaving was this bike only access road was a real safety risk, especially at night. Like me and my friend even went out one night and we tipped off the bike and fell all dramatic like in the movies and everything, mud and grass all over us. It was crazy. I was just at this point so excited to find a villa for a much better price. So I didn't even pay attention to a lot of things before committing to it, like the fact that this road, is really going to be a problem. And I didn't think it would be until I had to do it every day. Aside from that, I didn't realize there was no AC. However, the owner here, he was nice enough to install one for my comfort. So that was a pleasure. I lived on the second floor and we had a shared pool, which wasn't an issue because truthfully, I didn't even use the pool once. So I didn't mind having a shared pool between me and one other person. Now, one of the main things that was a problem was the bugs, you guys. Like, literally, I had to use my fridge as a pantry because the bugs in the middle of this rice field were relentless, specifically the ants. Now, I was also told that there's a high chance for mice and snakes when you live in a rice field. I didn't stay long enough to encounter that, but my sister friend from DC who lives out here, she did. And I'm like, baby, you're not making this much more convincing for me to want to stay out here. But in any event, here is the clip of the inside, to which I really like this villa. But once I started shifting my mindset to more of a long term thought process, I'm like, I don't want to deal with the heat. I don't want to deal with the bugs. I don't want to fight wasps while I'm in the shower because I have no choice to deal with the outside. Now, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, it's just bugs. But yeah, I don't want to deal with that on a daily. Waking up to a bunch of dead ants and wasps in my room. It was just crazy. I wasn't particularly a big fan of the fact that the furnishings weren't necessarily to my liking. I was grateful for them, but I did end up purchasing a couch that was well suited for the space, or that at least that would have been, because I ended up moving. So we'll talk about what happened with that later. But the monthly rent for this villa included cleaning service once a week, pool maintenance, and Wi-Fi for 11 million IDR or 673 USD. Now, even though I liked it, I did move on to a place that I actually love. I have finally managed to find my home, sweet home here in Bali, so welcome to my humble abode. So, coming in from the front door, you have the restroom there, which we'll go into in a moment. And then it opens up to the open concept living, kitchen, and dining area. Now, the space is pretty self explanatory. There's not a lot to explain. It's only an 800 square foot up and downstairs loft. So, there's not a whole lot to cover, but I do want to take you through and explain how I spend my time in some of the spaces, as well as the customized items that I purchased to make the space my own. Now, you do know, or if you don't know, Bali villas typically come fully furnished, and that is down to the towels and the linens on the bed, okay? But I had a specific taste in certain things that I was looking for, and that's how I ended up with some of the custom items that I purchased. So let's get into it. Now, I will say I was a full-time realtor back home, so if this is giving HGTV, then that's what I was going for. But in any event, let's start with the couch. So in my Ubud villa, which I'm so upset I didn't get more content of, but it's okay. But coming from there, they had a couch that was very small. Like I'm only 5'5", and I couldn't even stretch out fully on the couch. So I'm like, that's a problem for me, and I want something that has more than an inch and a half of cushion. So I get on Facebook Marketplace, and I get to talking to this guy who does furniture, and he does it all custom, just like the paintings that I got. And we talked about the dimensions that I was looking for, as well as the orientation of the chase, down to the fabric and the color. So being able to select all that custom to my liking, my taste, that was a breath of fresh air. And I knew that I was going to get exactly what I wanted and what I'm used to make my life comfortable. I am a lounger. I like to lay out on a couch, and a lot of times I sleep on a couch, not for any specific reason, just because I get comfortable and I end up just falling asleep. So it is what it is. But this is 9 feet wide by, I believe, 5.5 or 6 feet long. And it was only 8 million IDR, which equates to about 500 USD. So to have something custom made, I think that that was a fantastic price. And that was also including delivery. It took about 3 weeks to receive and it came fully wrapped and covered. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with it. Now, I will say some of the downsides is that the cushion is a little firm for my liking. I do like it a little bit softer, but I'll take it. And then also, the fabric doesn't really clean that well, even with the mild soap and warm water solution. That even leaves a stain. You can see like a watermark. So I have to find the specific cleaner that will work for this type of fabric, which I don't know what kind of fabric it is, but we'll figure that out at some point. But in any event, I am well pleased with the couch. Now, the villa did come fully furnished, and there was already a couch in the property when I moved in, but I had already placed my order for this. So I'm like, I can't cancel it and then try to get them to, refund my money after they've already made the couch. So I'm like, well, what can I do with this couch? Ah, perfect. I'll put it upstairs in my bedroom because I always like a seating area in my bedroom anyway. Now, the couch that came with the villa, the chase was able to be switched to either side, which was perfect because the way that the upstairs is set up, I needed it to be on the left as opposed to the right when how it was when I first moved in. So it actually worked out. Now, this fits perfectly in the space down here, and the couch that came with the villa fits perfectly in my bedroom. So look at how things work out. Now, as for the kitchen, it's not incredibly large, but it is sufficient. I have everything I need. Well, mostly. One thing I miss about home is having an oven. I want to bake some homemade biscuits, y'all. And I can't do that in the air fryer. Apparently, having an oven here in Bali is a luxury, and they're going to pay a pretty penny for said luxury. So I have to do without, but in any event, I do have everything that I need. Now, I will say that fully furnished, again, means everything. That is your cookware, your silverware, your drinkware, everything. So, of course, I have my own specific taste as we've already established. So, I bought some of my own items, which I'll show you what came with the villa, and then I'll show you some of the items that I purchased that had my specific taste written all over it. Now, as you can see, I don't have a pantry, but I do have some decent storage with these shelves here in which I can display all of my items here. So it does make it pretty easily accessible. I have a decent amount of counter space. It's not a ton, so I do have to maneuver when I'm cooking, but it works. And then I do have good cabinet and drawer space. I was actually really pleased to find out that those were real drawers and not just faux drawers with just fake door handles. Now, most villa owners, 99.9%, will include a water dispenser because you can't drink the water here, of course. And then you just buy your own refills. Now, for this 5 gallon jug, I go next door for my refills, and it's only 18,000 IDR, which is $1.11. So that is not only affordable, but also very convenient that it's next door. Now, these dishes and some storage containers I purchased myself, as well as my pots and pans and my seasonings, because I have a certain, style, as well as I want to make sure that I have what I know that I can work with when I do cook. Typically, villa owners will only provide salt and pepper if they provide that. And so I need variety and seasonings when I cook. Now, tell me you can cook without telling me you can cook. Now, something that came with the villa was this countertop cookware. It's electric, and you kind of just maneuver with it the way that you can. It's not the greatest. I wish I did have two, like the one in Canggu that was gas. That was perfect, but it is what it is. And so maybe you can see now why I don't cook that often because I can't do that much with just that and an air fryer. But I do what I can to make it all come together, and I've been able to sustain. So, yeah. So that's my kitchen area, pretty self-explanatory. Now, when it comes to my dining space, now I don't really sit here to eat. If anything, I sit here and do more editing on my computer than I do anything. When I eat, especially when I'm home alone, I just am on the couch in front of the TV with my picnic legs type of person. So that's how that goes typically most days. But it's nice to have because it fits well into the space. It seats four, and it's perfect for if I do have company and we want to enjoy a meal, or if we want to play cards, have a game night, this is a perfect table to do so. Now, remember the culture shock video where I told you the guy told me to calm down when I was trying to order a painting? This is his work. And so it came out pretty good. And as we already determined, that was just a language barrier, but it's textured. It took about 2 weeks to make, and I love gold touches. And it's about 4.5 feet wide. Now, with delivery coming from Java, it was about $80 in total. So it really fits into the space well. It ties everything together, especially with this table runner here that I got from a store in Sonora that ties in all the browns, whites, and blacks together. So that's that on that. Now, a couple more things before we head upstairs. I want to show you my wardrobe area, so my closet, so to speak. Now, it's not in the bedroom, which is different. It is down here on the first floor. And then I'm going to show you the bathroom, and then we'll head upstairs. So let's take a look first at this wardrobe area. Now, obviously, they made really great use of this space under the stairs here. This looks to be like some type of custom build. And aside from that, this is where I keep my suitcases and my dog bed. Now, I can organize it a little better and I'll get to it at some point. But for now, this is where I keep my fragrances, my jewelry, glasses, some little knickknacks, and things like that. Now, I do wish that this wardrobe area was upstairs because it just, in my mind, it makes me believe I should be getting dressed in my room. But because the shower and the full bath is downstairs, I kind of have to work with what I can get. So I've realized with these villas in Bali, nothing is perfect and you will have pros and cons, and you just learn to make sacrifices. So this is my closet area. Now, here, of course, is my bathroom. Now, generally, I'm used to seeing maybe a half bath by the front entrance, but the way that this villa was made, the full bath is put right here by the front door. It's not a huge deal because it's still a nice bathroom. I love that there's a double shower head. Now, just as much as you can't drink the water here, it's good to have a shower filter, to which I will be purchasing one in the next couple of weeks. Now, in contrast to the Canggu villa, I like that there's an actual cabinet here instead of just an open area under the sink, so I can put all of my belongings there without them being exposed. And in normal Bali fashion, you will have a bidet typically attached to your toilet. Now, this bathroom just simply opens back up to the main living space. And with that said, it is now time to head upstairs. Now, this is a full view of my bedroom area that, as you can see, looks down to the main area downstairs, which I'll show you in a moment, but just kind of wanted to give you a full pan of everything so you can see how it all ties together. Now, my bed is a queen size. It's pretty comfortable. They do provide all of the linens, which I will also explain what services are included in the price in just a moment. And here is the second painting from my good old calm down friend. As you can see, it's about the size of my headboard, if that's any indication of how big it truly is. But I just found a picture on Google, sent it to him, and asked him could he make it, to which he produced. Now, the bed is pretty comfortable, and again, the linens come with the villa. This was the couch that was in here when I first moved in, so clearly it fits in the space perfectly. Now, let's take a look at how the upper area and the downstairs area all combine together with the high ceilings. So, as you can see, having the up and downstairs open to each other makes it feel very spacious, and I don't feel closed in, right? Now, most villa owners know that Bali is a place that all the digital nomads come to, or people who work online, work remotely. So they do provide a working station. I did purchase my own monitor to go along with my laptop so I can have my two screens and my own keyboard and things like that. So you'll have to purchase that on your own, but typically you will have a workstation and chair included in your villa. Now, as for my outdoor patio area, it's not the largest, but I tell you what, it is sufficient in size for one or two people to kind of sit back here and hang out. You can always make it your own. You can throw some little string lights back here, add some cushions to the chairs if you like. But for the most part, it's pretty simple. Now, I don't typically sit out here because I will get baked in the sun during the day, or in Bali fashion, like it's literally doing right now. You will get rained on because it's rainy season. So it's nice to have when the weather is cool, especially like at night and when it's not raining. But that is pretty much my outdoor area here. I kind of store my mops and my outdoor brooms there. But that is pretty much it. So that family is my villa. You have seen everything there is to see in my current villa where I live at here in Denpasar. Now let's talk about the most important thing, pricing. How much is this all going to cost me, right? So monthly I pay 10,500,000 IDR, which equates to $646. That's right. $646. So that is inclusive of unlimited Wi-Fi, which is pretty strong. I only have the occasional drop here and there. That's pretty standard. Things happen. You just reset the router like normal. You do that at home. Um, but the Wi-Fi signal is pretty good. It's strong. I don't have any complaints with that. That also includes cleaning once a week. So I do have someone that comes to my villa. They do a deep clean that is washing the dishes, changing the linens, giving me fresh towels, sweep and mop, doing the garden area, everything. That is included as well in that pricing. What's not included is electric. So let me show you how to replenish your electric meter in just a couple of steps. So right outside of my front door is my electric meter. So you can take your electric meter number, you can go into your mobile banking. If you have a local account like I do with the type of visa that I have, allows me to have a local Indonesian bank account. So I just top up in the app, and I'll show you that in a moment. You can also do it on the Gojek or Grab app, I believe. And you can go to the Indomaret to where you can pay cash at the register with the cashier and then give them your meter number, and then you'll come home with the code to type into your meter to replenish your electric. So let's look at the option for the mobile bank account. So it's pretty simple. I just click top up, PLN token. I've already got my meter number saved. And then I choose the amount that I want to do. And then you'll get a successful notification, and then you'll type in that code into your meter. So let's do that here. You'll get a success notification, and then you'll see that your meter is replenished with the amount that you put on there. Now, one thing you didn't see, can you think of that thing that you didn't see? Something that we all need and use, and it's a luxury to have in our place. If you guess washer and dryer, you'd be correct. Now, I have here my laundry because, as I've said before, I'm pretty sure I've said it before, we get our laundry done here. So we take our bags over to whatever laundry service that we find. You can get the complete service. That is wash, dry, fold, iron, shrink wrapped, and everything. And each load is about $3 for all of that. And so this is how it comes. I did already open this one, but this is how it comes, shrink wrapped. And when I tell you it smells amazing, like I've never been able to get my clothes to retain the smell that well with regular old laundry, detergent and fabric softener and scent beads and dryer sheets and all that, doing my own laundry at home. I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. But it smells amazing. I mean, the scent lasts for so long in the clothes. That is truly what they be talking about in them Gain commercials, but Gain don't be doing that though. So neither does Tide or all the other big ones. But in any event, we take our laundry over to a service. Now, I did actually switch to another service where they will pick it up and drop it off for just about the same price because delivery and the pickup service is free. So Blush Laundry, shout out to you. 10 out of 10, recommend highly. But Pop Laundry is also good as well. I chose Blush because they pick up and they drop off. So I can just simply say, hey, I'm ready for a load to get picked up. They'll come. And then a couple days later, they are bringing me fresh laundry back to my front door. So you can't beat that price and you can't beat that service. Now, family, before we bring this video to a close, let's hear from you. Tell me in the comments which villa you think had the most value for the price, which one did you just absolutely not care for, and which one would you choose if you had to make a decision between these three: the Canggu Villa, Ubud Villa, or Denpasar? Let me know. So family, that is my villa tour. I hope this was insightful. I hope I answered all of your questions and allowed you to see how I'm living comfortably and uniquely me here in Bali. Now, if you have additional questions or you need some further clarity and insight, please drop a comment. I do respond to each and every one of your amazing comments. Now, I will say there's certain things that I do miss about my home that I owned in America, but probably not enough for me to move back, at least anytime soon. So I'm happy with the life that I'm building here. And again, if you have questions, let me know. If you're new to this channel, I simply just cover my journey of moving from America to Bali. We have intimate conversations. We also look at adventures and things to do. And there's so many other things up my sleeve, y'all, that I have to provide for you. So stick around. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you for coming to Nomadically Breathe. Bye.